How do you come up with your antagonists? How do you make them compelling?
Antagonists, most of my antagonists are not moustache twirling villains. They usually want something, and it's not just world domination. You need to make your antagonists human. And it's something a lot of people forget to do because you look at some of the most famous antagonists in fiction history, and they are just moustache twirling villains. If you look at Darth Vader, when the first three Star Wars films came out, he was just a moustache twirling villain. He had no backstory, he had nothing. He just wanted to kill everybody and take over the world. And a lot of people see that and learn from that. And no, if you want to write, especially if you want to write a lot, your antagonists need to have wants and desires and be humans and have their own sense of humor and things like that. People assume that villains should be villainous, and most real life villains are not villainous, which is why they get away with so much. They're just regular people. You hear the stories of, we've arrested this guy and we found 7 heads in his crawl space. And you ask the next door neighbor, and it's just like, oh, he was the nicest man in the world.
Jeffrey
Because
Dahmer.
they're human beings. And that's how serial killers get away with it, because they're just unassuming people on the street. And if you want to make your antagonists interesting and even more villainous, make them human. I write more human than supernatural monster in my work. And I always try to make my villains as interesting, if not more interesting, than my heroes.
I think that's an interesting point because when often with the heroes, the reader is trying to relate to them. So if you make them too specific and too evocative as a hero, it's harder for them to relate to them. So you can expend your energy more on your villain